If I could only implement two things to increase consignment store sales and foot traffic, these are the two things that I would do. My name is Sarah Marshall, and I'm your consignment store coach. Now, what makes me qualified to give you this advice? Well, I went from making $13,000 a month in sales to $40,000 a month in sales consistently, and I did that in a small town of 6,000 people. And if I can do it, you can absolutely do it too. That's what I've spent the last 4 years doing, is teaching other consignment store owners how to increase their sales and foot traffic. And to date, I've worked with over 400 store owners, and they are getting, if not similar results, better results. Most of them have tripled their store sales by using these out-of-the-box methods that I teach. So today, let me share two of them with you, my favorite two. I like to say that foot traffic is like the lifeblood of a consignment store. So I'm going to talk about sales and foot traffic today like they are one thing. Typically, I'm working with brick and mortar consignment store owners. So they have a physical space, they have overhead, they have rent, they have utilities, things that don't really come with the nature of the game when you're an online reseller. And so foot traffic, physical foot traffic, is super important. So when we talk about a brick and mortar space, whether you're true consignment or a buy outright store, if you have a physical location, you need actual humans to walk their physical feet into your store. That is how we make sales. So when I'm talking in the brick and mortar world, I'm thinking sales and foot traffic go together. So you will hear me talk about them like they are one and the same. And that's because we need the foot traffic to happen for sales increases to happen. Let's think about it like this. Every single customer who walks into your store, or person who walks into your store, they have like a dollar amount floating over their head. Every store has a different average transaction amount, the average amount in dollars that your average customer spends with you. I won't say what those statistics are on average from what I see with my clients, but let's just say, because everybody's stores are different. We have children's stores, adult stores, everything stores, furniture stores. So average transaction amounts can vary by region, by type. Okay, so bear with me here and let me just arbitrarily say a number. Let's say the average person who spends money with me spends around $35. Now, if you have a great point of sale system, you can look up your average transaction amount. But for this example, let's say every person who walks in your door, the potential is that they'll spend $35 with you. And if you increase the amount of people that walk in your door, then the sales potential goes up. So that's what we're talking about here, is how to increase sales and foot traffic, because they are one and the same. The number one thing that I would do if I wanted to increase my sales and foot traffic in a consignment store would be to have the perfect Goldilocks drop-off system for inventory. So what I see is there's two different types of consignment drop-off systems that are around in the industry. So our industry teaches kind of two different methods here. One is like a drop and run, meaning open drops. They can drop off anytime they want, kind of in an unlimited way, all the time, as much as they want, however they want, bringing it in however, right? So we kind of have this floodgate system. And then we have the other system, which is appointments. And appointments is kind of like the super cold bottleneck. Okay, so it says I can only handle 6 appointments today. And so we are either telling people we would like hundreds of people to come in the store today with however much they want, whenever they want, all the time. And then over here, we're like, we're gonna take 6 appointments, only 6 people come in my door today. So what I've done is I've created this very in between. I call it the Goldilocks drop-off system. And this teaches store owners how to accept inventory all day, every day your store is open, all hours, but in a limited way so that you're getting the best of the best inventory. You're training your consignors, and you're actually processing all of the inventory that you accept same day. I'm gonna give you kind of a stat of what me and my team were doing. So I was 3 people, okay? 3 people on the processing side, and we were able to take anywhere between 30 and 35 drop-offs a day. and process every single item that we received that day before we left at 5 p.m. So we left our store with all inventory out on the sales floor, tagged, ready to sell the next day, and a clean slate. Next morning, we started it all over again. And this is what I teach my consignment store owners what to do. So how would this benefit increasing sales and foot traffic? Well, in the midst of this process of dropping off, we're really going to train our consignors not only how to bring us the best of the best, okay? So we're getting more quality out on our sales floor, and we're really focusing on sell-through rate and what items are selling through the most. And then we're also getting more inventory out on the floor that day. We are pumping out inventory. And so more inventory on the sales floor automatically equals more sales. There's more opportunity for sales when there's more to sell. That is just very intuitive. But then when we replace some of that inventory with high quality, what is going to sell the most, what's going to get us top dollar, then we can increase sales even more. Let's talk about another way that this system allows for increased sales. When we go from appointments to this system, then we're saying, okay, with appointments, I'd like 6 people to come in to consign today. And we already know that every single person who walks in our floor has a dollar amount over their head. So we said that was what, $35. So we're saying that I would just like 6 people to spend $35 with me today. And anything on top of that, anybody who walks in just to shop and not consign is just a bonus. And when we let the kink in the system go, okay, and we release the bottleneck and we say, as many consignors can walk in my door today as possible, and I still know how to limit the inventory enough so that I can process every single thing that they bring me today, and I know exactly what to take from them to feed my bottom line in a profit first way, then now I can accept as many drop-offs as I want to. So I like to ask my clients, like when they first start with me, if 50 consignors walked in your door today, would you know what to do with them? And I would absolutely know what to do with them using this system. I would know how to handle 50 consignors. I would know how to get them to shop while they were there. I would know how to train them to bring back exactly what I wanted and how. I would train them to come back. So I know that I would retain them, that they would get a great customer service experience, and that they would be back. And I would be making money off of them then and in the future. And if you cannot say that for sure, then we need a better drop-off system, okay? And I can teach you how to do that. Consignment membership. This is going through the lens of service, right? This is how would we increase our sales? Well, we're going to focus on our drop-off system, which is part of our service that we provide, and it's absolutely possible. All right, if I was going to choose the second thing, it would absolutely be live video. Video is king today, okay? So any type of video, live video, short form video, long form video, get on video. And we're not going to talk about live sales because what does that do? That pushes our product. And remember, we're coming through that service-based lens. We're going to talk about service most. And so we're actually going to use live video to provide a service to our customers and our consignors. I like to call this request list method. It was a request list style live video where I would actually get on video live. I would ask the people who were coming on live with me if there's anything that they needed in the store that they wanted me to shop for, and I would shop for them live. And this was providing a great service to my community. We started very small with just a request list, asking every single person who came in the store that day if they found everything that they were looking for and if there's anything that we could add to our request list that they didn't find. And that's how we built the initial request list. And when we got an item in on request, then I would show up over live video. And I would show them the item, and then I would be sending them a link to the video and saying, hey, I got the item in that you were requesting. I showed it to you here. If you could just comment sold if you would like to purchase it. And then I was getting engagement on the videos, and it built and built and built to where there was this turning point to where I would come on live and people were showing up and just requesting things live because they got used to what I was doing. And people loved this. They could shop from home and everybody could see my store. So I wasn't pulling inventory and hoping that I had inventory that people behind the camera wanted to see. It wasn't a live sale situation. I was in fact saying, what do you want to see? And I'll show it to you. And that way I knew that the sales were there. If I had what they were asking for, then they were more likely to purchase. And it was a service that I was providing. I was basically shopping the store for them from home. And this not only drove foot traffic into the store when people were picking up their purchases, and they typically would spend more when they were in the physical store, but people who had never been in the store before then got very familiar with the store, and it created this like lower barrier to entry. So they weren't scared to come in. They knew exactly what it would feel like. It also built a special relationship between me and my customers. So they really got to know me. And we all know that in small business, that's super important to build a relationship with your customers and consignors. People typically will spend more money with people that they trust. And how do they trust you if they don't get to know you? So this was like a beautiful thing. It worked in so many different ways. And I teach my store owners to do live video every single day that they are open. And I really love for them to start with this request list method because it goes through that service-based lens, not just pushing product. It's a lot harder to build a live audience when we're pushing product rather than if we try to build a live audience pushing a service that we're providing, right? They need the service, and if we can become the service that we provide for them, if it can become like this super beneficial thing in their life, it's taking care of a need, it's allowing them to shop when they're busy or shop from the replay at home when our store is closed, and they can pick up, anytime in several days the inventory that they would like to purchase, then all of a sudden we're providing this great service for them and not just like putting the product out there that they could purchase literally anywhere, anytime. Think about doing live video in your store. Now, if you want help with live video, I actually run a live video challenge. So this would be 21 days of live video consecutively. So that excludes the days that you're closed, but you will do 21 live videos minus the days that you're closed. And if all videos are over 4 minutes, I actually give you a free month to Four Corners University. If you want to know more about the challenge and you want some accountability, if you even just want training on how to get started with live video, I have all that inside of my membership. And by completing the challenge, you could potentially win a free month to Four Corners University. And you can do that as many times as you want to. I have consignment store owners who are members who do that every single month. I have one member who has never paid for the membership because she just does the live video challenge every month. So that's something to consider if you wanted to join us for that. Before I give you those 2 things that I would implement to increase sales and foot traffic in a consignment store, I'm gonna first talk to you about Service Most. My Service Most philosophy, because this is a little bit out of the box, but so are these 2 things. And these 2 things are fed through this Service Most philosophy. Think about Service Most, your consignment business. It has 2 businesses in one, technically. So we have a product-based business and we also have a service-based business. We have 2. So you think of your standard brick and mortar consignment store and you walk in and most customers would probably think that it's a retail store, right? If we're clean, organized, then they think that it's a retail store. It's resale, but we sell a product. We sell lots of products. And then I like to call this the back end business. Then we have a service that we sell. So we provide a service to our community. They bring us their items. We pick what we would like to sell. And if you're buy outright, we pay you now. And if you're true consignment, then we pay you later when it sells. We pay you a percentage. Either way, they are paying for your service. And so we have this service-based business and this product-based business in one. Now, what most consignment stores want to do is they want to push their product because they think, I don't need another consignor. I only need shoppers. I'm drowning in inventory. I have too much inventory coming out of my ears, coming in every single day. I just want to push my product. And so this results in a lot of marketing, and it's not really great marketing. It's like flat lays on social media, live sales, and we're just pushing product. And our service-based business is back here sometimes kind of struggling to keep up, right? The balance between how much inventory do we need to get in? What inventory do we actually need to choose? Getting all of that inventory out in an appropriate time frame so that we don't have like a backlog in processing. So there's a lot of maybe complications with our service-based business that stresses a store owner out. And so we tend to neglect the service side and want to push our product because we think that it's going to increase our sales and foot traffic. And we also think that that's what people want. And it's also a little bit easier, right? It's a lot easier to, create flat lays and do some fun inventory pictures than it is to like put our head down and give great customer service to our consignors, really treat them, like roll out the red carpet for them, process inventory same day. That's a little more difficult to do, if I had to say so myself. I like to teach all of my clients this service most philosophy, where I'm really going to retrain your brain to think that everything that we do first is going to be brought through our service lens. If it's not a service focus, then we can do it later after we've built our machine, and then we can feed our machine with our product instead of focusing on, the product first. So we're gonna focus on service most. Now I want you to think about feeding your sales with your service, and that means consignment. Your consignors are your money makers, and most of you will tell me after I say that, Sarah, my consignors don't shop. Okay, I'm gonna bring this all full circle for you. I just need you to know that the lens that I'm coming through is absolutely focused on your service. This is how we're going to create a sustainable business. Think about this. In my very small community of 6,000 people, if I wanted to buy a shirt, I could think of in the neighboring town about 6 different places that I could buy a shirt. That's very similar, right? If I then think about online shopping, I could find that shirt hundreds of different ways. But in my town, there is only one business providing a consignment service. If we talk about thrift stores, they're not paying for your inventory, so they do get rid of the need. They do solve your problem by taking inventory that you don't need anymore in your house, but you're not getting paid for it. So there's only one in my town. Now, maybe you live in a super big city. I have a client who has about 10 consignment stores as competition within a 20-minute radius of her store. But she lives in a massive city. And so if you think about the product in that same city, we're talking about hundreds of stores that you could get a very similar product from. And then when we add online on top of it, wow. So when we focus on product, it's not necessarily sustainable long-term. We have to do a lot to continue to be sustainable with our margins when pushing product. We have to have a good marketing game. But when we push our service-based business, because we're so niche, there's typically only 1, 2, 3 of our consignment-based service businesses in a community. And when we can focus on that, we become sustainable. Then people need us. They need our service. So when they look at us more as a service that we provide to them, we're taking care of their need, we're convenient, we do it well, they're super happy, they will refer our business more, and they will end up shopping with us more just because they walk through our products to get to our service. And so the shopping will end up happening if we push our service first. It actually makes our business a lot more sustainable in the long run. So we always focus on service first, and then we worry about how to kind of convert our shoppers, our consignors or our sellers into shoppers, right? So we're going to focus on service most, then we will worry about pushing the product. So that's it. Those are the 2 things that I would do absolutely if I wanted to increase my sales and foot traffic. The same day processing, the Goldilocks drop-off system is going to perfectly feed your store with new inventory daily. And then you're showing that inventory possibly on request. So you're fulfilling requests more often and you're showing those on live video, which then brings foot traffic into your store. Both things would bring foot traffic into your store. More drop-offs in, and which then feeds your live videos. And then when you sell inventory through live, then you're getting pickup purchases, and people tend to spend more when they're in your store. So both things are really through that service-based lens and drive foot traffic, which drives sales. If you want more tips for consignment store owners, definitely give my channel a follow here and come join Four Corners University, the membership built just for consignment store owners.